Here's Guy Wehman, Ben Brunson, and Frank Vernuccio inside the news.
Well, welcome back to our final segment of Inside the News. Glad to have you with us. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we invite you to join us. We've got on your top left, we've got Ben Brunson. I'm on your top right. And down below, right there, is Mr. Frank Vernuccio. And he's with the American Analysis of News and Media. And we've got Ben Brunson, and he's the author of the Falstaff, Enigma, and Esther, Sling. The people we like to beat up the most is the media, but you know what? They got it coming, don't they, Frank?
Well, they certainly do. We're not called Inside the News for nothing. Look, if you look at the coverage of these entire terrible incidents, the riots that have spread across the country, you're finding a level of media coverage which strange credulity. The brother, of course, of Mr. Floyd has said these riots have nothing to do with the Floyd murder. You've had responsible leaders saying that this has nothing to do with civil rights at all. And yet the media continues to portray this as related to the death of Mr. Floyd. Nothing of the sort is there. The president walked from the White House to St. John's Church, which of course was set afire by the Antifa protesters. If you looked at the coverage on some of the media channels afterwards, they didn't say how terrible it was that this church was set on fire. They criticized the president for using the Secret Service to hold back the anarchists who were trying to set the city ablaze. You have to wonder what's in the mindset of this left-wing media.
You know something, Ben? Frank brought up a good point, because you wonder what side are they on. If they're living here in the United States, they're able to enjoy freedom. They can report what they want to, but yet everything they try to do, they try and pin down. It's gotcha questions and everything, and they try and go against. I know they're supposed to be somewhat provocative and to try and get questions and get to the truth, but they are actually trying to make up a story and trying to make up truth that doesn't exist.
Well, they're not journalists, and they haven't been for years. They're advocates for a progressive vision and hatred of Donald Trump. And of course, everything they report is colored by that hatred of Donald Trump. Obviously, it's not going to change. And if Trump's reelected, well, we have another 4 years of this to look forward to. So it's unfortunate, but we all know it's not changing.
No, it's not. All right. As we look forward to every program, it's the time when our guys get to pontificate on a subject that they can totally, that's near and dear to their heart. So, Frank, your hot button topic for this week.
For quite some time, we've talked about the growing influence of China on college campuses and on the entertainment industry and the media industry. Now, isn't it fascinating that as China clamps down on Hong Kong, as they suppress the protesters there, the United States and the Trump administration has sharply criticized China for the violation of the rights of Hong Kong. What follows? Well, isn't it fascinating that these riots are taking news coverage completely away from what the Chinese mainland is doing to Hong Kong? You almost have to wonder whether the Chinese, through their Confucius Institutes on college, through their financial stranglehold on some of our media and entertainment industries, is moving to encourage these riots to take world attention away from the violation of the rights of the people of Hong Kong.
All right, Ben Brunson, what is your hot button topic this week?
Well, taxpayers are being asked to fund the profligate spending of progressive blue states. And here's an example of why their budgets are out of control and unsupportable and unsustainable. The Port Authority of New York runs its own police department, police force. One sergeant who works there, Regina Womack, her base salary is $132,000 a year, which seems pretty high to me, but that's just a start. She also made $260,000 of overtime pay for $423,000 of total comp last year, and she was just one of the top 10, and they were all well over $350,000. All of the top 10 lieutenants, sergeants making that type of money. It's obscene, and that's not even including all of the benefits they receive, the pension benefits and guarantees and Cadillac healthcare plans they have. It's crazy, out of control spending. And remember that as you're being asked to bail out these states. They should not be bailed out by the American taxpayer, period.
That was Ben Brunson, the author of the Falstaff, Enigma, and Esther, Sling. You can find his books at Amazon.com and BenBrunson.com. Frank Vernuccio, and Frank is with the American Analysis of News and Media. You can find Frank at USAGovPolicy.com. We want to say a shout out to WMVA and WHEE in Virginia, a couple of our affiliates. Thank you so much for airing Inside the News. You can also catch us on SoundCloud at WBV Inside the News. And on our YouTube channel, visit us there. And it's WBV Inside the News as well. And we want to thank you so much for visiting us at itnradio.com. Until next week, for all the guys, we wish you a pleasant, good weekend. And we will once again convene next week as we once go Inside the News.
You're listening to Wehman, Brunson, and Vernuccio, Inside the News.